In a world of uncertainty,
Rivers jizzing in his pants, and then you bring up your wife in the next sentence. Like, I know where we're going. What is going on?
there is only one place you can turn for fair dinkum advice.
One word, unbelievable. 2 words, holy shit. 3 words, oh my god.
A place where the undeniably American
It sounds so weird in like an Australian accent.
meets the undeniably Aussie.
Hey, let's stop the foreskinning for some absolutely wonderful segments later.
Where the analysis is solid
I, for one, was not one of those haters, as I picked a Rams victory.
Look, I think he can get over 150 yards in this game, easily.
Kick his ass, Tyler Bass!
and everything else is out to kill you.
There's going to be shrinking nutsacks all over the place.
Welcome to the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
G'day and welcome into the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. My name is Matty C. As you know, if you've been by any time recently, as you can see, my office has changed a little bit, which is kind of great. We've got a great show on. I've got a special guest coming in, a very special guest. But before I get into that, we always do this to kick off the show, and today is no different. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional landowners of the regions we're all dialing in from tonight, and there's a few of them. So Manjot and I would like to extend our respects to the leaders past, present, and emerging from the Ngunnawal and Ngambri folks who are in the Canberra region, how it's known today. Taylor from the Darawal region up in Wollongong, and our special guest who'll be dialing in from Wanneroowa country up in the Hunter Valley. Just a beautiful slice of land up there. Our social media as well is desperate to connect with you. So come and find us because we're in all sorts of places. You can get all of them through our link tree, which is linktree/Aussie NFL Fantasy. You can also, from there, get our YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, but you can get all of them on those apps just by checking up at Aussie NFL Fantasy. You can also find us on Twitter at AU NFL Fantasy. And of course, we've got an email address, AussieNFLFantasy@gmail.com. And for those of you who are into the audio, let's do that. Give us some audio questions through our Anchor site, anchor.fm/Aussie NFL Fantasy. With all that in the books, it's showtime, and I'm really excited to bring the three of us together, but also our special guest, and I'm going to get them all introduced. Bear with us. We'll be back in a sec.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Taylor talk time.
Because all I do is win, no matter what. That's a foreskin right there. We'll foreskin that for later. That's on the first 5 pages.
Wowza. Mate,
Sorry, the first 4 pages. Foreskin. We didn't want to talk about it. You guys brought it up. It wasn't me, of course.
mate, we'll chat later.
Yeah. I didn't realise you can trade. I didn't realise it was a trade button. I don't do many trades, mate. So I always stay on the fence. I don't call him an absolute spud, and I never call him an absolute choker in the second half of years. So, well, we start with the Portaloo at the back when we just shit ourselves straight into the Portaloo, and then it goes into a hole, not even into an actual toilet.
Aussie NFL Fantasy.
Look, eat it, Mark Downey. I'm all Dolphins this year, mate, and you're going to have to make a lot of room because I'm not the smallest bloke in the world on that bandwagon.
So we're back, and of course, I've got our consummate professionals, Manjot, the Ranchot, Melly, the public defender. Mate, welcome back.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm ready to defend a few players on this segment. I'm very excited to see
Whoa.
my public defender self is coming out today. Just be warned, boys.
Ooh, it feels like just yesterday I saw you, mate.
Yeah, same.
About this segment is none of you know what's coming. So that's my favourite bit, is I'm the only one who knows anything about it. Bobby Trees, good to see you back, mate.
Yeah, I'm
How's your knee?
I'm looking like I fought in World War One, mate. Like I look like I'm about 100 years old. I don't know why, but I wide receiver one of the Titans this year, mate. So looking for that back-to-back 1 seed.
Wow, is Taylor around? Can I say good day?
Yeah, I'll go get him, mate. I'll go get him.
I like how it's a whole day later and we are just as
He's
quiet
just taking
as
taking a massive shit, mate. He'll be back later.
All right, Bobby. We'll check in with Taylor when he gets back.
Yeah.
But, mate, I've got to tell you, it is just so thrilling that Ian has come back, because after yesterday where we literally spoke for 5 hours, this poor devil, we barely got any of the show done. And he's graciously come back to join us again. Thank you, Ian. It's good to have you back, mate. The Viking from the Aussie end zone.
Not a problem.
And look at his name.
Couldn't keep me away.
Some C word.
We were playing a bit of games with names last night. I haven't changed Manjot's name yet. I might sneakily change that through the show.
Keep it
Don't
up.
you? I got keyboard now. I got keyboard now.
Yeah,
It's like,
Keyboard's back.
Charge his keyboard.
Yeah. yeah, it's actually a new one. So
Oh, he's just gone and bought a new one. What?
yeah,
What an
but the
millennials,
old
man.
one's still down there.
Did you
Yeah.
They
break
never
the old
want to
one?
repair anything. They just buy you.
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
break the old one?
I
Did you
mean,
actually
it's still
break it?
there. It's
Oh,
still
no.
there. Don't worry.
The most fun I ever had as a 20-year-old was when my keyboard's broke and I went outside and absolutely plastered it over anything.
That is exactly what I was hoping Manjot was going to say. He did, because I want this image in my mind of calm Manjot just fucking losing it and just smashing the shit out of keyboard like an 80s guitarist.
Just walk out to a wall and go, fuck you!
Yes!
Hey.
If you're ever going to do that, can you TikTok that for me, Manjot? It doesn't have to do
Yeah.
anything with football. Just put it on the show page.
Or just
Sure.
find a catchphrase to put in there. Yeah, like alphabet soup.
Yes, something. All right, now I'm glad we got that worked
Yeah,
out. That's
fucking
fun.
hell, bad.
Hey, Taylor's joined us. G'day, Taylor. How was your big
Oh,
shit?
hey guys, how you going?
Yeah. Well, we
That's
heard you
fascinating.
were taking a Lamar Jackson style shit.
Yes. That it's what I like to do what I do best in this world, and that's somewhere I do some of my best work. So I thought I'd just get it done, mate.
Yeah, Matthew Judon was apparently injured, but then he just had to clarify he's taking a piss. So
What?
just yeah.
I thought
That
you were
was-
about to say Matthew Judon was injured taking a poo.
Oh no.
You imagine. I mean, it's
No, someone said he was going to
Look,
the
it's happened
locker
to the rest
room.
of us.
I'd recommend fibre if that was the case.
Yeah.
It's a bit of Metamucil.
Look, we've all eaten some things we're not proud of, and it's just we've all had a bit of a battle on the porcelain.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Manjot, myth, legend.
Who thinks they're going first this week, by the way? Hands up.
It's Taylor.
Oh, you're wrong. It's you, Manjot.
Yeah, I thought so. Oh, okay. Man, that is just a load of information. Lot of dumping right there, man. Yes, you gotta go for them early and then trade them. I was feeling that sort of vibe from Taylor. Taylor nailed, I reckon. Yeah, as someone who's living the pain of the Jimmy G experience still, just trade that man, please.
I just realised he, basically had hamstrings made of tissue. That was great.
A lot like mine.
Anyway, back to Manjot.
How about me with my Peyton Manning jersey that I got for Christmas last year?
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
It's an upgrade, but he's not going to be so elite. I reckon we should talk some AFC sort of season projections because on Aussie End Zone, we're kind of NFC biased. He's completely NFC biased. And I think maybe in the pastry press coverage, I might flip to AFC bias just because that conference is absolutely fucking stacked. Like,
Just 5 years ago, everyone in the NFC apparently had their quarterback. And
Yeah.
now the AFC is just so much fun. I mean, it's
Yeah.
very top heavy and then bottom light, but the top heavy bit is wild fun.
yeah. I mean, there's only a few teams I'd even write off. The Texans, Jaguars, of course. I'd put the Jets in that category. Those are the three teams I'd probably say at the bottom. But then the other 13, you could make a case that there is a chance for the other 13. That's just how I'm thinking. Even the Steelers, and that's because they have an amazing defense. TJ Watt is still going to run wild. You got Cam Hayward in that D-line, and they got Minka Fitzpatrick. They've got all these guys on defense. They're still getting better. They're still signing pieces to that defense this offseason.
You're going to need to, yeah.
Yeah, that defense can
Really
really
hard.
get through. Yeah, it's just if Pickett can get on a sort of roll, they can get anywhere. And Mike Tomlin, he's never had a losing season. So they've always got a chance with Mike Tomlin as the
But don't you
coach.
think this will be the year more than ever for a long time where they're just going to want to try and beat you 16-13?
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah,
I think
throw
so.
it back
And
to
the
the
fact that they can
70s.
score 20 points consistently.
Yeah, throw it back to the fucking 70s. That's what it's going to be.
So in terms of fantasy analysis for the Steelers, just real quick, I've been pretty anti-Najee Harris where he's been getting drafted. I'm not anti-Najee Harris. It's just that, man, he was like getting picked 6th overall at one point there. I can't do it. Can't do it. But I don't know if this is going to be the way the Steelers are going to look, and they're going to want to try and minimize how much time opponents have to work against them, so the defense can have its best crack when they're out there. Am I being too low on Najee by being like, nah, I don't believe him as like a top 5 running back?
We're always too low. Me and you said this last year, though, Matty, when we were like projecting him. We're like, he's going to be a complete volume play. And we're always going to have him lower than what he's going to finish because we don't see an upside for him. Like, and I'm the same this year. Like, I don't see him being a chance of being like in the top 3. But I think he's a chance of being in the top 5. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's got any chance of being enormous every week because he's going to be just purely volume, and that offensive line is still not great. And they're just not going to be in as many opportunities in the red zone as a lot of these other teams with some of these guys. Like you saw Jonathan Taylor needed, 20, like a record of all-time amount of red zone looks just to get to number 1. Like, I don't think that's in Najee's range of outcomes, but that's why you and we often look for upside for that top 5. That's why we're always probably lower Najee, because we just see the volume and that's it.
You have to pay top 5 for him. And I just don't know how he finishes higher than that. So where's the benefit?
Yeah, I don't know where the upside is.
He could finish 1. He's made of glass, but he could finish 1, or any of those other guys in that real top part. Yeah, they can all finish 1. Najee can't. I just can't see the world where he. Yeah. I hate saying I can't see the world where he finishes number 1 is difficult to imagine what the moons that have to line up, many of them, in what atmospheres, in what galaxies.
They have to be so efficient. He'd have to just, like, so many times they'd pull up on the 1 and then just dive over.
He's 0.9 yards per rush after first contact.
Doesn't he gets hit like a yard and a half behind the line every single time. Like, he was getting hit way behind the line every single rush he was taking.
Being in PPR as our standard is what saves a guy like that. Otherwise, I don't know where you draft him if you're in
I don't think that comes this year. I think that's the issue. I don't think he gets anywhere near as many receptions this year because, like you even brought up, Ian, Trubisky's most likely going to be the starter, and he uses his legs when he needs to. Like, he's not statue Ben. He's not statue Ben, where he just goes, shit, where's Najee? I'm just going to dump off like 3 yards away from me. I think Trubisky's going to try and keep plays alive, and he's going to just run for the sidelines or just hock it out. Like, I just don't think there's going to be as many dump offs to Najee.
I think the Steelers in general are going to be very different to what everybody has historically known them as, I think, for the next couple of years, as they find themselves again, as they find themselves like past Big Ben, So I think they're going to be in all forms of just analysis and fantasy and stuff. It's going to be, you have to get used to what they're going to be again. You have to wait and see.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
I've got a question about the AFC West for you all as well.
Yeah, let's go. I was going to mention AFC West. Yeah,
we're in that wonderful situation where it's so much easier to have 3 teams from one division making the playoffs. But how do you guys rank the 4 starting quarterbacks in that division from best to 4th? How do you do it? Who's first?
This is unfair.
Tough.
Look, first has to be
Mahomes, Herbert, Russ, Wilson, and Carr.
I'd agree with that.
That's 100% my list too. Because
essentially, then you're saying, well, that's how it's going to go, right?
And that's just on the quarterbacks, though, right? If you say, how would you rank those quarterbacks based on how you think that team's going to go? Then I would swap around.
I have Chargers first.
I would swap sort of. I would still go Chiefs. I'd still go Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos. So I'd put Carr and the Raiders ahead of Wilson and the Broncos.
Wow,
interesting.
There'll be 3. There'll be 3 come out of that division into the finals.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
it's going to be a bit of a fist fight between the Raiders.
Well, they play the AFC South too, so that helps.
Yeah.
I can't see a way where the AFC South can represent with more than 1.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
There's just not going to be enough wins in that division, right?
The AFC North, though, there can be a case for the Bengals and the Ravens. The Browns, I'm not sold on them. I'd put them in the out category too. I put the Browns and the Steelers in that out category. Then I put the Texans, Jets, and Jags. So those 5 I'd put mainly out, but the other 11 teams can have a real shot.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe
I'm not sure that the
Patri-
Dolphins do either, really.
yeah, Dolphins and Patriots. Yeah, I'm not really sure about them. So what's that? Leaves off
I decide
9.
today from that AFC East, I'd be putting the Patriots ahead of the Dolphins.
I think it's weird. Isn't it weird though that even if you, I mean, I know the South has the teams that have been at the bottom of the table in the AFC for the last couple of years. But when you think about the changes that the Colts have made this season, and it's not just Matt Ryan, there's just the difference in there, and the Texans will take away a few wins from some people, and maybe the Jags will as well because they've all come up. Everyone's come up in the AFC, but isn't it funny that you think that that is definitely still the lesser of all 4 divisions? You look at the others, and you could probably easily pick 3 that would fight it out to come out of there on top. Even
100%.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I can try and defend the AFC South as much as I like, but it's pretty tough. Yeah, I think the person who's got the best seat in the AFC South is Taylor.
Yeah.
It's always handy being in a 2-horse race every single year.
Yep.
1.5 horse race, I reckon.
Yeah.
But
And the Colts.
it's not going to be a 2-horse race this year, though. That's the thing.
No, I agree. I don't think the Colts are that great either.
Death taxes and everyone talking up the Colts. It's like literally.
Yeah.
No,
So
right. All those years of Peyton smacking my team's ass twice every single year. I mean, I still love Peyton Manning, and I'll never not. But it's kind of nice to see the Colts be pretty shit.
yeah.
They're not all incredibly shit. They're still better than us, but it's kind of nice that they're just not. Oh well, they're probably going to make it.
Yeah, it's a mediocre team. It's
I wouldn't say mediocre. There's guys on there. They've made the right moves, and there's people that are there are guys doing stuff. So
100%. They're high. It's a hard team to predict because I'd put them around that 10, between that 9 and 11 range, sort of 9 and 11 wins. That sort of range, and it's just a hard team to predict because they gotta get some wins outside of the division, and it's gonna be interesting. They have to win outside the division as well as sweep the Jags, sweep the Texans, and
They play the West.
they're playing the West. That's really difficult.
yeah, that is the hard part.
Yep.
That is the really hard part. The fact that they're playing the West.
Yeah, anyone playing the West. Oh,
You're going to need to score 30 points.
Yeah, and then you got the West Bowl out there in the interconferences where we're playing the West, so it's just difficult. Yeah,
Weren't we talking about this yesterday? Isn't it the East next year?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
haven't looked at the next year, but you
Sure. I think they go from east to west. Oh, west to east, rather. That way. I'm pretty sure that's the way it is.
We were talking about it because we were talking about Trevor Lawrence's breakout, and then I thought that him playing the West was actually a better chance of him breaking out because he's going to have to score a shitload of points.
Yeah.
But you were saying that it might be better for next year because you think of playing the East teams.
And the Colts might be in that same box as well. Do you know what I mean? It's this year's kind of a just get set, get everyone in, get them knowing what they want to do, see that they're going to work together, and then try and swing for the fences.
So you're telling me next year I'm going to put up the same shit?
Yeah, you are. You're going to put up with it every year. But the difference is next year you're going to have Malik Willis. So
yeah. It's crazy. We were thinking he would be in contention for the 6th overall pick, and then he just dropped to the 82nd.
I remember us talking about this at the end of last season, Manjot, and it's how the AFC is the poster child for parity in the league.
Yeah, 100%.
Look at the discussions that everyone in all the media, in all the NFL media, is having about AFC teams and all this kind of stuff, where they could be and they could do this, and then as the weaker teams get better, the better ones just add a few more players that go, okay, we're still above you, you know what I mean? But they're all still way better. And you put them against any of the NFC teams, and the NFC teams are garbage. There's probably only
Yeah.
3 or 4 that aren't.
Oh yeah, the Rams, the Bucks. Who else would you put? Like, yeah, it's difficult. The Packers, no, they got doubts. The Vikings, you don't know.
Like it's
In
just,
that North, it's just it's difficult to.
can't. The AFC is just parity central, really.
Yeah,
It's
it's the
how it is.
Rams and the Bucks are pretty. I'd say they're the only ones that would have a chance against most of those NFC teams. Sorry, AFC teams
It's
on a
strange.
week-to-week basis.
It's strange too because like the parity should be coming about because of the way that the drafts are structured and draft orders are structured and stuff like that. But instead, the parity is coming about because AFC franchises are spending a lot of money
Yeah,
because their
look at
owners
the Jags.
the owners are going, fuck this, I'm just going to spend money. You know,
Yeah, look at the Jaguars. Even
Yeah.
they're bad and they're spending a shit ton of money this offseason.
On though, if you can do that and then something happens. So the year we made the playoffs in 2017, Andrew Luck had ruined his spleen and fucked his shoulder at the same time. Deshaun Watson was dead from week 2. And, oh, God, what happened to the Titans? I think the Titans were just the Titans.
Marcus Mariota and
I think we're in
9-7.
the middle of our Jeff Fisher like years where we're just going like 8-8 every single year. I think
It was 9-7. That was the meme.
there you go.
The meme
it
was
was a lot of
9-7 every
9-7s.
single year with Mike Mularkey and Marcus
Brady had
Mariota.
sat out the first 4 games of the year. So the AFC, there was stuff happening all around the AFC. It's not that we're actually wonderfully good at all. It's just there was stuff happening all around the AFC. And I think that's kind of the fun bit about when a bad team gets good is sometimes it's not about the bad team getting good. Sometimes it's about good teams getting bad.
Yeah. And 5 years ago, we didn't really have many young QBs come around the league. There was this real big purgatory between, I think, the 2009 and the 2015, 2016 drafts, where it was just, you couldn't really find many good QBs in those 8 drafts. But then once that 2017, 2018, that sort of time, especially that 2018 class, I would say with Allen and Lamar, once that started to pick up, then all these young QBs just started to flood the league. And that's where we're seeing.
Explosions of the world, right?
Yeah, like 2017, you had Mahomes and Watson. That was just an amazing duo. Not considering Watson's allegations, but as players, of course. Just they were both, on top of the world. At one point, they were fighting out for the AFC divisional game. And then, that 2018 draft, and then you just kept going. 2019, there was like maybe just Kyler, but it was a solid, still was just Kyler. It's okay. But then 2020, you had Burrow and Herbert, and maybe Tua comes good this year. And then 2021, you had these 5 QBs who will still sold out on, but we've seen signs from Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence. He's still got that hype ever since he's been in high school pretty much. And we're still waiting for him. We're expecting him to bring you back, Matty. See, I'm expecting
He lost
him.
more games in 1 month in Jacksonville than he'd lost in his entire life.
Yeah.
Welcome to the NFL, buddy.
Yeah. It was just
Welcome to North Florida, mate. Duval, baby.
Yeah. Welcome to Jacksonville moment. 100%. And then just those 5 QBs have been just hyped up, and you see the QBs are just really coming every single year now. Ever since about 2016, 2017, around then, they've just been coming up, and just all these young QBs. And then Brady, he's just still going. Rodgers, he's just still going. Some of these old guards they're just still hanging around. But those 2 are pretty much the last 2 left from the generation that I started watching football. So, a bit sad right there. But this new generation of QBs, I think it's going to be a very fun NFL to watch the next decade or 2 decades. I'm really excited. I'm just really excited as a content creator too. Just the amount we can talk all day for like 20 years about how great the NFL will be. And that's fulfilling. That's my life all fulfilled. Honestly.
Brilliant. In 2 days, we've talked a full workout. We talked 8 hours in 2 days. This is
yes, we have.
We have a fantasy show. He's like, yeah, you're excited about the next 2 decades, mate. We've got a day and a half, and we've talked 8 hours.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah, I'm talking up 2 decades, but look,
Yeah.
it's gonna be
We've
yeah,
got a
it's just,
day.
yeah, it's just it's just gonna be fun.
Yep.
I'm just really excited for this generation of QBs. And then you got Arch Manning and these other guys, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. And yes, I mentioned Arch Manning first because he's a Manning. And we all know we love the Manning family because they absolutely destroyed Tom Brady's entire career. Well, not entire career, but he still had 7 Super Bowls, but he could have had at least 11 if it wasn't for those Manning boys. So yeah, Arch Manning. Yeah, I'm very excited to see him. Yeah,
Can't wait
but
for him playing Tom Brady. It'll be great.
yeah, Arch Manning first pick in your rookie drafts in Dynasty in 2026. Just want to flag that before we too much looking into the future. Yeah, so I guess maybe to finish it off, because I guess we've been going on for 8 hours at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, over 2 days.
The other boys.
I think
You got a final thought here, Manjot?
Yeah, I think just to finish it off, because we're always talking NFC over on End Zone. I think AFC, because I've been talking about like hierarchies and tiers and everything in the AFC, just seeing that all 11 teams can have a chance of really just 9 teams. And yeah, that's sort of tier list.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Maddie C.
Oh, let's get this out of the way first. Is there anything you all need me to say in my weird accent?
He is ready to go.
I did this to Taylor a lot during Grand Final in Astro League, and he was like, shut up. Mate, I feel like I know who you're going to pick, so it's okay. Sorry, I'm still writing notes. I've just, so many times you said things that I think I could probably turn that into a joke, so I'm just writing it down.
Aussie
NFL
Fantasy.
They are a true ass sandwich. Bread, ass, bread. This thesaurus is both terrible and terrible.
I've got nothing else.
I'm trying to coax him to just be like, shut up, you dickhead, or have a crack at me, and he's not biting. That is the ice-cold worst take I've ever heard.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Okay, we all good on Australian culture? This is our long suit, right?
What about ranking them 1 to 7? Your top 7 seeds in the AFC. So your first 4 had to be division winners, and then the 5, 6, 7. Of course, the wild cards would do it like NFL playoff style. But I just really want to do this. Because of course, Pastry Press season predictions gonna drop sometime soon. So I'm willing to air them out on the podcast first, and because
who do you want to start with, man? Joe? You can be the host.
Yeah. Okay, Taylor, go for it, man. Go for it.
Buffalo,
Righto.
Chargers,
Yeah.
Bengals, Titans.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
they're
fourth
Chiefs.
division.
Yeah, here's where it gets fun.
Ooh. That is where it gets fun. Yeah, Chiefs definitely 5th. I'm gonna go Baltimore.
Yeah.
And then I really think it's between the Pats and the Dolphins there. I think they're going to be really close. I'm going to take an upset. I'm going to take the Dolphins.
Oh.
As the 7th seed.
So only 2 AFC West teams, and only 2. That's the terminology I'm going to use.
It was tough. I just think they're going to take a lot of wins off each other.
Yeah,
which could struggle them to get the 3rd. Look, they probably could get the 3 in there. I think it's going to be close with Pats, Dolphins, either the Broncos or Raiders. I just think they're all going to be sort of fighting out that 7 spot. But I went for the other teams because I feel like they've got a bit of an easier road there.
Yeah, so you got 10 teams in contention, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
Season.
There's probably some other ones you could chuck in there, like we talked about Pittsburgh and stuff, that I'm sure are going to be thereabouts. But, they're the ones that just sort of stood out to me.
Yeah. Maddie, you got any AFC predictions?
I do, mate. Some of them aren't going to be terribly surprising because they're going to take Buffalo, and but then I'm also going to take Tennessee, and I think they're probably the 2 easiest for everybody to put in, right? Just look at their divisions.
Yeah.
What does the second team in that division look like? Oh my God, Perth.
Miles apart.
it's the other divisions that are interesting. So I'd put Kansas City above the Chargers, and I'd put Baltimore above the Bengals. I'm going to make them my division winners, but I'm then going to include the Chargers. And I think you have to include the Bengals. I think you have to.
Yeah.
So I've got the same 6, but just in a scrambled order. And then I don't know, is this where you put in? I think this is where you got to put in Denver, isn't it?
This. I just kind of felt better going bold. That makes sense. Like I kind of like the idea of taking a shot at
I
someone.
really want to fucking put the Jets in, but yeah, I'm going to go Denver. Final answer.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. Ian, what do you got? This is going to be interesting.
I'll give you an order. How about I give you an order?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all going in order. So,
Yeah.
go for it.
I'll give you an order 1 through to 7.
Yeah.
Bills, Titans, Chiefs, Bengals, then
All different.
Chargers,
Yeah.
then Ravens,
Yep.
and the 7th one, the lowly 7th one.
We're all just doing the same thing.
The lowly 7th one will be the Patriots.
Yep.
Yeah. And I get it.
But that's an order. I reckon that'll be an order.
Yeah, I did mine in order as well.
Yeah, I was thinking about mine in order too.
Yeah. So I guess down to me now. So I've had a bit of time to think.
It's the same, Manjot. Tell us, it's all the same.
It's pretty much the same, just a couple of differences. So I got the Bills on top. They're gonna finish the 1 seed. I
Got the
reckon.
Jags first. Yeah.
Yeah, Jaguars, Texans, and then Jets. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And then, so yeah, Bills at number 1. I go Chargers at number 2. I'm feeling that Chargers hype that Ian and Taylor feeling. And Maddie, of course, you put them in the playoffs. I'm feeling it more the division side.
Like Ian, though. I'm not in love with them.
Yeah, I'm thinking, put them at 2. And then 3rd seed, I'm going with a bit of an upset. I think, 3rd seed, I got to put the Titans there. I can't put the Titans a little lower.
Got a bit of an upset, Indianapolis.
Yeah. But the 4th seed, no, I was thinking about the North upset. I'm going with the Ravens over the Bengals. I just think
Ravens too, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where it can get
No
interesting
Lamar
there.
bias at all. No Lamar bias.
No Lamar bias.
Lamar who?
I'm a Lamar hater to my core. This dude, just a running back, absolute trash. Worst MVP ever. Shouldn't have been unanimous. Yeah. Anyway, that's why I'm anti-Lamar.
It gets fun.
Yeah, the 5th, 6th, and 7th. I love how they expanded to 7 teams in 2020. That was just the best move ever. Because more teams in the AFC playoffs. That's just it. They need to expand it out to the full 8.
It'll be 8 teams in 2024. You what?
Yeah, 100%. Just get it out there. Get it over and done with. Yeah, but I go 5. I take the Chiefs. I put the Chiefs at 5. And then 6. This is I'd actually put wait, let's change it up. Bengals 5, Chiefs 6. And then, because I think the Chiefs are going to go down a bit, but not too much. I'm thinking the Bengals still going to have a better year. It's just because the Bengals, they're going to have an easier road inside their division. So I think they're going to be a bit better than the Chiefs. So yeah, Chiefs 6.
Not much. From the 2nd seed to the 6th seed is not much. That's a decent drop, brother.
Yeah, I mean, it's a decent drop, but then when you look at it in terms of those records, that might be just 1 or 2 wins, essentially.
They're in 4 championship games in a row, and now you're saying they're going to be the 6th seed. Anyway,
yeah,
it's not my ranking.
And I'm putting them there because they have lost a few pieces like Tyreek Hill and Tyrann Mathieu, but they also did get Justin Reed to replace Matthew, of course. But the 7th seed, yeah.
Tasty 7. What do you got? Tasty 7.
I'm leaning with the Broncos. Broncos country. Let's ride. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, no.
And the Raiders, I really wanted to put them in somewhere, but I just can't fit the Ravens, Bengals, and then the whole AFC West. It's just too hard. That's why you need to go 8 teams. That's why I want it. Just fit the whole AFC West, and then you can have an extra team from another division. It would just be perfect. And also do the reorder of seedings. Like a team that's 13-3 shouldn't be on the road in a wild card game. They should be if it's against like a 13-4 nowadays. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot it's a 17-game season now. Sorry, 13-4 wild card against a 9-8 division winner, and you have to travel. I think they got to change that as well.
That's the rules. It's how it is.
Yeah, but the NBA changed it up years ago.
Like
That's
NBA,
how it is now.
just calm down. NBA changed it up. NBA is still trash. They keep adding franchises like their underwear. So
Yeah.
they've also
Playoffs are 20 teams in a 30-team league. It's just
Yeah.
what are you doing?
they've also got like a 30-week season. They're so close to being MLB. It's not funny.
Yeah.
So
And most of the games are unwatchable. Absolutely unwatchable.
yeah,
Yeah.
just like
I don't want
just
to
like
see
the MLB.
Orlando play Atlanta on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Different.
I
100%.
don't even want to watch that. They're not even watching when they're not playing.
But the argument for it is though,
Bottle flips.
you win your division, you get a home game, right? It's not anyone else's fault. Division is not necessarily trash, but is so contested that they're 9-8. There's a bunch of them that are 9-8 and 8-9.
Yeah.
Just how it is. So
Yeah.
it's going to be the same in the West. Not all of them are going to be able to achieve. They're all great teams this year. Not all of them are going to be able to achieve. So there's not going to be teams coming out of that at 13-4.
Yeah.
So.
100%. Yeah. I think, Titans, they're going to have a decent year. I think when you look at January football, the Titans are going to be a team to watch because of Derrick Henry in the cold. He's going to be an absolute weapon. We saw
Derek
it
Yeti, the Yeti.
Yeah. Derek Yeti, 100%. Get him going. We saw against the Ravens and the Patriots in that 2019 playoffs. And he just absolutely went off. So
We didn't even get to see him in full Yeti form last year. He got injured before he could.
Yeah. And then his comeback game. It's just going to be a fun AFC.
Yeah,
I reckon.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of doing a bit of maths on this for a consensus. The four of us combined, if we had to bring that into what's the most commonly selected here. No surprise, we've all taken
Bills first.
Yeah, Bills first. And what was it?
Bills Titans.
2 Chargers as the second seeds. And then a team from the North is the most common choice for a 3rd seed. And then Tennessee, the most common choice for a 4th seed. And then a 5th seed, most common choice is 2nd place getter in the West. Then 2nd place getter in the North is the 6th seed. And then 7th has been split between the East and the West.
Yeah.
So the wild cards will be fun. I mean, I think there's not so much to decide around what's the best parts of the AFC. It's just not as much to choose from in that. It'll be, I think those wildcard teams will be a mile of fun to work out who's doing what there.
Yeah. And this is why NFL playoffs is going to be huge because you got to be your best, especially in the AFC. You got to be 100% of your best because anyone can win at any time.
Hands down, the NFL has got the best playoff system in terms of urgency.
Yeah.
And in terms of the way it's structured for how
in the whole world.
Yeah.
In the whole world. No double chances, no 7-game series, nothing. Yeah.
No. Turn up and win. And I think the formula for how you get there is pretty good. I mean, I do agree that it's difficult when you've got like a 13-4 side going to play against a 9-8 team. I don't know that I agree with that, but I understand why it is. I understand it's not a mystery, but I think that might be something that's worthwhile exploring whether it's better to change it up. Hands down, I think it is the best playoff system in sport.
Yep. Yeah. And if you don't turn up, Evan McPherson smacks that ass, son.
Yeah, he does. That guy carried all of us in our fantasy playoff challenge last year. I'm so looking forward to starts of the week this year, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't carry you two well enough.
Ready to get my ass kicked.
Yeah. 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 We got to get Ian back on some of these segments, by the way.
Do. Ian, look, thank you so much for joining us. How have you felt going 8 hours with us idiots?
Fucking tired.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's been
I'm
good.
actually.
It's tiring. Yeah, I'm
It's a
tired.
marathon.
But, I'm tired because of work more than I am from doing this. So
We're an
no,
exhausting bunch, mate. We're not taking that personally. That's a credit to us.
it's been it's been good. I love it. I love it. So I love talking it. So it's fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, man. Manjot and I were talking about this, and we've got to wrap Taylor into it too. But I'm starting to think maybe we actually need to have a guest schedule where I think the show might work best. We've got the three of us all the time. We've always got a guest. But would you be happy to be on a panel of a schedule for guests, and you can come through a bit more regularly?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, let's go.
I'll be back anytime you want me.
We'll do a burpee challenge.
Yeah.
I don't think Taylor minds having some fresh
5
meat
years.
back around too. So if you two are going to do something like a burpee challenge, this is so good. We're going to have you back.
We have a doctor. Well, Dr. Good on call for any heart attack.
Dr. Good Call.
Dr. Good Call. Good call. And big thank you to Bobby Trees and Dr. Good Call there, who look like they have an intimate moment.
Yeah.
I have not been able to unsee that since you mentioned it, Ian.
See?
Yeah,
What a
this
single
was
one.
one of the weirdest moments. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I saw Bobby Trees and Taylor, man.
It really
Also,
goes.
how I know you belong in our podcast, to be honest.
It really goes to my Pride Month 2022. See?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Don't show that to the Seagulls.
Mate, all comers,
Yeah.
all welcome.
Yeah.
And Manjot, thank you so much for having a Manjot moment with us, getting us to go through the AFC at the end was actually a lot of fun, but also all the preseason stuff, everyone for participating in my award-winning new segment, Which Bloke? And this whole thing's been so much fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to all three.
I was very excited, by the way, when I was like, Ian's coming on the show. I was very, very excited. Been months since I recorded with him. And then we just got a full 2 days just talking about this whole league. And we've covered everything. Honestly, I think I'm footballed out a little bit. Just can't.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. With this football on tomorrow, though. That's the.
And then you wake up at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
Oh,
we got
I
get up at 4 a.m. for those meetings, boys.
I
watched
am
some fourth
am going to
stringers
wake up
go
at 3 a.m., but I'm going to go back to sleep pretty damn quickly. I know that for sure.
Literally going to bed the second this finishes. Can I get you fellas, the Aussie End Zone contingent here, do some plugging for the show as well? Because it's coming back. We know that for sure. And just give folks a bit of a window of where to find us.
Where to find it? Well, I
Mhm.
mean, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, all at some iteration of Aussie End Zone. In terms of when we're coming back, we're not 100% sure yet. At some point, whether it's before the first week or after the first week, we haven't really known it out. We're definitely changing it up from what we had last year. I think we're going to go more of a stripped back version. So you may see more content from Manjot and I together, because we'll get the shits from not talking about all kinds of things that we want to talk about and probably just end up doing it ourselves without the other two. But it just depends on what's going on. If I can convince Brad to do some, if Brad's going back over to the motherland. At some point, isn't he soon? Isn't he, Manjot?
I think it's soon. I think it's around September, October or something.
Yeah, so we're going to try and convince him to maybe do some videos from over there. I've no doubt while he's home, he's going to go to games. So I want some content. So you can find us. You can find us at all of that. So
the Brad vlogs, get them going.
Yeah, Brad.
That's our challenge to Brad. If you're listening, man.
As always, it's not just NFL content on Aussie End Zone either. We like to do local gridiron content. So you can, if you check us out, there'll hopefully be a lot more of that this season as well.
Yeah, and speaking of local gridiron content, Matty, we got our announcement, man. We got to announce it. Now these two know, but our viewers, they probably don't know. But me and Matty, we're taking over ACT Gridiron this season. We've been formulating a commentary team. We've been practicing, honing our craft. We were doing the Packers vs Colts game from 2020 the other day on a Zoom call. And we've just been honing our craft. We've been doing production meetings. We've been going to everything this season. And we're really excited to announce that we are going to be taking over ACT Gridiron. We'll be calling every single game, every single Saturday. All the seniors games, we'll be covering it. And I'm really looking forward to it, to my commentary partner, Matty, seeing you every Saturday. Yeah.
gonna be great. I've got Joe Buck over there, and I'll be Troy Aikman. It's gonna be fantastic. Cannot wait. Maybe it's my Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth, or
It's probably going to be a Gus Johnson and John Madden sort of thing. That's how we're going to go with that sort of hype. Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun because play-by-play commentary has never been my thing until now. So I've got a bit to learn, and Manjot's been really, really gracious about helping me with that. Looking forward to that. It's a great thing for ACT Gridiron to be streaming games live and to have that support of the media behind it. To make it look like an attractive product that people can then watch wherever they are on the great brown land that we're on, or whether they're across the seas. And we'll be doing our best to try and help get the talents out there and get people to pick it up and learn a bit about it happening, and that we're going to be available to watch live or on demand later on as well.
And check it out on our Instagrams, Pastry Press NFL, Aussie End Zone, and Aussie NFL Fantasy, all over the social medias will be covering the league. So it'll be great. Yeah. And Ian, you were saying something there before you kind of cut out?
Don't worry, I'm cutting out big time, so it's definitely time to go. I think even my internet's telling me it's time for bed.
And Taylor, we got a last word from you, brother?
Nothing too much, mate. I'm just going to make like a Bobby Tree and leaf.
Get the hell out of here.
We're done. We're done. I'm gone. That's it.
Well, mate, you can find all of us on Aussie NFL Fantasy. Of course, we threw the link tree where all the links are in one spot for YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. They're all at Aussie NFL Fantasy. Of course, you get us on Twitter as well at AU NFL Fantasy, because that was the only way to get it in under 15 characters. And then, of course, you can drop us an email, aussienflfantasy@gmail.com. Or if all those aren't your thing and you prefer to speak and be heard, then you can do it through anchor.fm/Aussie NFL Fantasy. You can leave us a voice message there up to a minute, or you can go back multiple times and leave us plenty, and you could feature on the show. So check that out. Thank you, everybody. Ian, you've been very gracious. Look after yourself, mate. We'll reach out to you again real soon.
No worries.
Yeah.
And fellas, Manjot, Taylor, peace out, brothers.
Yeah. Thanks, boys.
Hooroo.
Thank you.
And he starts going like he goes absolutely mental, and then like nearly explodes.
Like the game show version of playing Nick Kyrgios, eh?
Ozzy?
So just to clarify, one team scores more points, and they both lost to the Jets. So you have to take the team that scores more points.
Yes.
NFL.
You guys made me really thirsty with all those like trophy picks. Like
Trophy is making me thirsty.
Fantasy.
Who won starts the week, by the way?
Let's not talk about it.
Okay, right. On to the next one.
This is what 20 years of being a Jacksonville Jaguars fan does to a man, I reckon.
I feel like this was so much easier when I wrote it down. You guys are making this sound so hard.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
But it was in the Brady era, yeah.
Everything's in the Brady era, mate.